Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again with yet another deck from Foundations Jumpstart. I'm still recording these on the same day, as you can tell by the outfit, but my voice is starting to go, so if there's any blurring in this one, I really do apologise, but hey, got a sore throat, cold's coming, but I want to get my videos done. Anyway, today's video, Evereth, Viceroy of Plunder, 2 in a black for a 2/2 Vampire Soldier. Has flying and sacrifice another creature or artifact. You get to put a +1/+1 on Evereth. And if the sacrificed permanent was a treasure, she gains the life link until the end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. But when Evereth dies, you may pay 1 and hybrid red and black. And when you do, Evereth deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. This is powerful. It is very, very, very powerful. Having the ability to just sacrifice with no cost is great. To put +1/+1 counters on someone, okay then, like that plan. The bonus of sacrificing a treasure to give them lifelink, got to be the first time I've ever seen that. Just, I always want to make sure that I've got a black or 2 mana up and available, ready to activate it if she gets killed off, just to do that damage to everybody else. So, the deck's fun, and this is what it looks like for today. Right then, we want things that do things when things die. So Blood Art is here, so whenever a creature dies, whenever Blood Arts for another creature dies, target player loses 1 and we gain 1. So a little bit fiddly on MTGO, but it works. Charming Scoundrel comes in, gives us a treasure, which we can sack to Evereth to make her a 3/3, possibly, or bigger, with lifelink and flying. Generous Plunderer is my new go-to version, since Dockside Extortionist is still banned in it. Commander, giving have to give someone a tapped treasure, but you know, we get a treasure, they get a treasure, we get to attack, do the damage equal to the artifacts they control, as well as maybe sacrificing the treasure off to Evereth. Jury Master the Review. Whenever we sacrifice a permanent, this guy gets bigger, and then when he dies, you get to deal damage equal to its power to any target. Could be another way of finishing off your opponent. Sacrifice a load of things to Evereth. He gets the +1/+1 count as well. Then sacrifice him to Evereth. He dies, deals the damage. Evereth gets bigger. Maybe enough. Kalain Reclusive Painter just comes in to give us a treasure token, and if we do spend the treasure on casting creatures, they come in a little bit bigger, which is quite nice with Evereth. Loyal Apprentice just gives us a Thopter we can sacrifice every turn. Well, after we can't do it because it's combat, obviously, but you know, the thing's still there. We still make Evereth bigger if we need to at the end of turn, just so we've got the damage ready to go if anyone tries to kill her. Zulaport Cutthroat does the whole whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 and we gain 1. Academy Manufacturer gives us even more things to sacrifice off and gives us a little bit of card draw with the clues and foods to gain some life, because obviously the treasures will what the main thing we'll be creating. Keswick, the Flesh Sculptor. We can sacrifice 3 artifacts. A lot of sacrifice things in this deck, just so we're clear. Sacrifice 3 other artifacts and all creatures. Look at the top 3 cards. 2 in your hand, 1 in the graveyard. I'll cope with that. Loyal Subordinate. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, each opponent loses 3 life. Yep, like that plan. Mahadi Emporium Master is also in. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each creature that died this turn. So it gives you a whole load of treasures you can use with Evereth on the next turn if you need to. Because we're sacrificing so much, Mayhem Devil had to be in here. Bit boring, I know, but what can you do? Patron the Arts was my last choice, I'll be honest, but enters or dies, we get a treasure token. So 3/1 Dragon Noble that gives us a treasure when it comes in and then leaves 1 behind when it dies. Yeah, okay. Obviously, the best treasure generator is Professional Facebreaker. If you can get the damage in, you get the treasures. Zafana Caliport Cutthroat is also in. At the beginning of your end step, if you have the initiative, create a treasure token. Create 3 of those tokens instead of you complete a dungeon. Now, I've boo-booed. I'm aware of this. I like the fact that it's just 3/2 menace, but us getting the initiative, but I've put them in because there seems to be a lot more initiative decks running around on MTGO at the moment. So if you're playing on MTGO, keep her in. If you're playing at your friendly local gaming store and there's not many people playing around with initiative and so on and so forth, take her out, replace her with something else if you want to. But she's staying in for now for me because of what's happening on MTGO. Well, the games I play anyway. Zorn's here, just like give us an extra treasure token. Decadent Dragon, we get to play with our opponent's cards, and then whenever we attack, we get a treasure. Grim Hireling, whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create 2 treasure tokens. And then we can sacrifice X treasures to give something -X, which helps. Mirkwood Bats, sacrifice a token, each opponent loses a life. No brainer with treasure tokens. Likewise, Pitless Plunderer gives us treasures when we sack creatures off. So you could be in a situation where you have a couple of tokens, you sack one of them to Evereth, you get a treasure token for it, sack the treasure token. You get to do the whole lifelink and an extra +1/+1. So it definitely has its upside. Would recommend it wholeheartedly. Prosper's here because it's Prosper. I'm playing black-red. Prosper's always going to be in the deck somewhere. It always has a home. It's always very good. The end. Siege Gang Lieutenant. Beginning combat on our turn. If we control a commander, we get a couple of red goblin tokens that we can either attack with or hold back. And we can sack them off to deal 1 damage, or just wait a little bit longer and build Evereth up to a little bit more. Bonehorde Dracosaur. Yep, I've always said it. Red decks, this comes in. It's here today. Endrek Sahar Breeder, Master Breeder. This is good. You cast your creature spells. You get your X/1/1 Black Thrall creature tokens. You're not going to get more than 7 because we haven't got anything else above that. We haven't got anything that goes up to 7 from a creature. So you have this in play. Cast your creature spell. Sack all your Black Thrall tokens off to Evereth. You may get treasures if you're doing it right. Cast another creature spell. Sack them all off again to Evereth. So Evereth just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Works. Goldspan Dragon, treasure tokens. Yep. Judith, Carnage Connoisseur. We've got a few instances of sorceries. There's not many, but there is enough to make us have the imp creature tokens, which we can then sack off to shock an opponent. Well, each opponent, to be fair. They're nice if you sack the imps off to Evereth. Just saying. Ancient Copper Dragon gives us all those lovely treasure tokens. Grave Titan gives us 2 zombies when we attack to food fodder for Evereth. And Marionette Master. Whenever an artifact you control is put in a graveyard from the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to Marionette Master's power. Yeah, okay then. Tevesh Zat Doom of Fools is purely here to give us the Thrall tokens, which we can use to sacrifice to Evereth. And then that's the only planeswalker in the deck. And then we have the spells. Song of Totenaz means we get all our creatures haste. If we need to give our creatures haste, we can do it for 1 red mana. That's quite nice. You don't have to pay the X. Creatures you control gain haste until the end of turn. That's fine. We'll go with that. If we get to get some rats out as well, even better. Strike It Rich just gives us a treasure token. We can flash it back eventually. Dragon Fodder, Krenko's Command, just creatures we can sack, along with Ral's Reinforcements. And Hordling Outburst. Jazika's Will is also here for the extra red mana and the cards we can potentially play off the top of our, the exiled 3 cards. Or the cards off the top of the library, however you want to look at it. Big score, treasure, well, 2 treasures, couple of card draws when we discard something. Pirate's Pillage, discard a card, draw 2, create 2. Treasures, yep, okay. Same with Unexpected Windfall. And then Burn Down the House. Burn Down the House is here as a bit of let's wipe the board out with the 5 damage side of things. But the 3 red devil creature tokens are a very good alternative to have, especially with Evereth in play. You can just sack them off to ping people. Season of the Bold is 5 mana to turn it into 5 tapped treasures. Don't forget, you don't have to tap them to sack them to Evereth. You can just do it anyway. But it just depends what else you got in your hands. I have played this card a bit now. So I've drafted it a couple of times. And yeah, doing the 3 pawns worth and then a couple of tapped treasure tokens isn't the end of the world, believe it or not. Devil's Playground, it gives us 4 of the devil tokens. Very expensive, but a bit of fun if we can get it off. And Blood Money, blow the board up, get all those treasure tokens. Thank you very much. Evereth comes in next turn and we're away with a bit of luck. Or after we've cast this, depending if we've got, 10 mana available, which we should have with this deck, with the treasures. Ramp, Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Jet Medallion, Mind Stone, the Ruby Medallion, Thought Vessel. Treasure maps here, just to give us another way of getting treasures. That's fine when we flip it. The Nuka-Cola vending machine also comes in from Fallout. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this card, to be honest. Create a food token, sack a food token, get a tap treasure token. Sack that to Evereth. It's very confusing, but it works as a nice little way of doing things. The most obvious card in here, the Reaver Cleaver. When it deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasure tokens. Evereth loves the Reaver Cleaver, just so we're clear. Tempting Contract comes in for each at the beginning of your upkeep. Each opponent may create a treasure token. For each opponent who does, you get a treasure token. It is available on MTGO. Why there's no price, I have no idea, but it's definitely there because it's in my deck on the MTGO, waiting for Evereth to hit it. And then Transmutation Font. Blood, Clues and Food. I'm happy with all of them. And then we can sacrifice 3 artifact tokens with different names to find an artifact card and put it on the battlefield. So basically use that to find probably one of the lovely ramp cards we need. We have a few enchantments. Be careful with it. First one, Cursed Opulence. This has come down in price on MTGO, so I'm happy about that. It was ridiculously expensive at one stage, but now it's actually at a level where it's quite bearable to do things. We have Guild Artisan as well. Whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player, you get a couple more treasure tokens. Agent of the Iron Throne, another way of making all your opponents lose life, alongside Bastion of Remembrance. But that's, Iron Throne, artifacts and creatures. Bastion remembers creatures only, just bear that in mind. And Revel in Riches. Backup win condition. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more treasures, you win the game. Lands, black and red lands all the way through. MTGO, bad lands costs $4.20 or thereabouts. In real life, just going back up to the top to prove it. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Whoops, MTGO, no. There we go. Click the right button now. Badlands, $414 or $415. It's $414.99. So half the price of the deck is in one card. Bear that in mind. Scroll back down really quickly. There's nothing else of real interest there. We have got Field of the Dead in there to give us some more creatures. We've got enough basic different types of lands that we should be able to trigger it at a happy time. Miko Oko, the Centre of the Sea, is also here. Mines and More Areas also here to get more treasure tokens. Sojan, Crucible of Defiance, is here to give us a couple of tokens we can sack to Evereth if we need to. And then the usual suspects, Temple of the False God, Reliquary Tower, and because we're playing black, Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. And that's it. That's my take on Evereth, Viceroy of Plunder. Like I say, really hope these get on MTGO on the 11th of December as we've been promised. I really hope Daybreak Games keeps that because I'm looking forward to playing these cards. But for now, if you want to see me play them, give me a follow down on Twitch. I've got 260 followers over on Twitch. As I've been recording the videos today, got another follow on YouTube, so thank you for that. So I'm at 561 now, which is great. If you can, hit the subscribe button that should have appeared in the bottom of the screen by now. And yeah, come and see me play them as soon as they hit MTGO. But for now, one more deck to do this week. We're going Typal tomorrow with red. You can work it out because it's not the Goblin one. I've already done that one. So come back tomorrow, check out tomorrow's video, and I'll see you then. Take care. Bye.